What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone, and we won. We won against Dortmund 2-1. Not that the result really matters. It's about the performance that needs to be, questioned, debated, basically during preseason. Obviously, also during the season. But during the season, you take the result anyway. How you play. But we won, and I'm gonna say there are a lot of positives and some worrying things which we knew, which we're also gonna discuss in this video. But before we get into it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, but definitely hit the like button. Let's get to 120 likes for once. So push the like button. But yeah, 2-1. Again, forget about the result. We could have lost 2-1. It doesn't really matter. It's about the performance. And if you forget about the first 20 minutes, because we couldn't keep hold of the ball at all in the first 20 minutes, Dortmund were just completely on top of us until Cambiaso opened that goal, the scoring. A lot of decent things, a lot of things you want to see, or I think Tudor wants to see. Let me rephrase it. A lot of things Tudor wants to see because it's clear that the things he likes to do were out there on display going forward. Remember when I was doing the live and I said, going forward, we will have no issues. Going forward, no issues. We will score goals. Somehow, some way, will it come from Cambiaso? If Colomani comes in, it's going to help Jonathan David, which we're going to talk about in a second. We will score goals. That was never the issue. The issue was also always defensively. But start about the good thing, the patterns or the things we try to do when we have the ball. At the beginning, we didn't have the ball, but every time we had the ball, it looked dangerous. We had maybe a bad shot, a good shot, whatever. Every time we moved forward, there was some sort of danger in it. And that's with some things that we're struggling with. One, for example, Yildiz needs to drop in massively. It's a demand, but it doesn't help Jonathan David up front because he's all on his load. That will probably change when Colomani comes in because I have a feeling they both start up top, and I probably Conceição will get benched at that point. Um, that was good. That was actually very, very good. The pressing is good. Obviously, not how it should be because it's still preseason, but it was good. It dropped off and board, especially towards the end before we made all those subs. It was good. That was good. Going forward, the combinations, the second goal was excellent from João Mario. Remember when we signed João Mario, I said, I don't think he's good defensively at all. I don't think he's very good defensively. He showed that defensively he's not a good player. Going forward, that's what I said when he was announced. I was like, going forward, he looks decent. He looks decent. And that goal, that run was fantastic. It reminds me a little bit of Cuadrado, a little bit. But at this point, you just need to ask. You just need to find a way to pull João Mario more towards inside of the field, which Tudor tried to do, but it leaves difficulties for Kelly or whoever plays in that position to defend. It leaves you exposed when you lose possession, and we will lose possession. That leaves you exposed. That's where we go to the problem in a sec. But João Mario going forward, that run was fantastic. Just the entire build-up, the finish from Cambiaso, like good patterns of play going forward. Nothing against that. Now we go to the struggling points. We need defensive help. That doesn't change. We didn't give up any real chances. Yes, we conceded, but we didn't give up any chances up to that point. But that was also because Dortmund were poor. They were actually very poor in the final third. They made a lot of random and odd decisions. Against a better team, there were many opportunities against that back line. And it's just because it lacks quality. We lose possession sometimes. Remember I said, João Mario, pull him in, fine. But then you ask Kelly to do things. He's not gonna do that. At one point he's just gonna break, and that's who he is. Rugani, for example, remember when I said, oh, he's a good squad player? He, in this Juve, no. In this Juve, Rugani cannot be a squad player. If Rugani is, let's say there's an injury and there's somebody else before Rugani, I can live with that. But if there's an injury and a sub and the next one up is Rugani, we are screwed. With that goal again, we're screwed. Like, he has no clue where that ball is. Like, absolutely no clue. The defensive, the marking is not good at all. He just had no eyes on the ball whatsoever. Even against Reggiana, loses his runner, doesn't know what's happening. He's not good. If that happens in the season, that could have been 1-0, or like, you could have been 1-0 up away to Napoli. I'm just saying something. Kalulu goes down, Rugani needs to come up. That happens, it's 1-1. What? Then what? That's what I'm trying to say. We need defensive help because Cambiaso was good going forward and João Mario was good going forward as well. defensively, they're not the best players. We just need to be honest with that. Like, that's fine. Trent defensively is not good, but going forward, he's all world basically. But he cannot really defend, and people live with that because you know what type of player he is. So we need to be honest when it comes to Cambiasso. He's not good defensively. Joe Mario's not good defensively. I don't think they will ever be good defensively. I hope they become better, but good to say, oh my God, they're never going to be that. That's already a struggle when you also have Bremer who's trying to get up to speed. Kelly, you can not really trust. Kalulu has a mistake in him lately, every single game almost. And then you bring in players like Kostic, it takes down the quality. You know, Gatti came on, wasn't really good, misplaced a couple of passes. Obviously, he's been injured for a while, so, you know, give him a pass for that. But overall, you need help because if Rugani is the next one up, we're in some serious trouble. We need to be honest with that. But overall, we need quality at the back. Maybe a left-footed center back. We need some help. If they press us, and Dortmund did in that first 20 minutes, we had no idea where to go with that possession, you know. So that's the thing that's extremely obvious, but I don't feel the club is going to address it unless they're going to move out Rugani, Kelly, and they'll find a solution at the back. I don't know who that solution is right now because time is ticking, but that's some area Tudor cannot fix because it's based on quality. The only way Tudor is going to fix that if he's going to step away from his beliefs a little bit and do something he doesn't really want to do. And is that fair towards a coach? No, I don't think so. Is that a good thing to do this close to the season? No, as well, because you had a plan. But again, that was a much improved performance because I think fitness-wise, it was much, much better as well. Obviously, we made a lot of changes in that second half. It was a bit over the place. Colt Miners looks bad. He really looks bad. You know, the first pass he made was just a panic ball towards nobody, and there was no real pressure. I don't know how you're going to recoup Colt Miners. You know, Tudor said it's going to be his and Bremer's season. I have no idea how you're going to do that. Miretti came on. He looked good, in my opinion. If you compare that to McKennie, who was actually okay. But a Colt Miners, I mean, yeah, the money, you know, the clean money on the books and the club needs it. But come on, like, is that really worth it? Douglas Luiz, I thought he looked very good, you know, and we're trying to move out these players. And yes, he disrespected the club, but at what point are we just gonna sit back and be like, okay, Colt Miners ain't it? You know, right now he's not gonna help you win games at all. Like there's no version of this Colt Miners that's gonna help you win games. You know, so that is a massive problem. It is. It really is. So it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen in the next couple of days. But this is something that we need to clearly address when it comes to the next, you know, couple of weeks, you know. Anyways, in the comment section, before you have liked the video, what do you think about the game? Not the result and whatever, just the overall performance. What were the positives? What were the negatives? Without going overboard because it's still preseason. Let me know. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow, live show, so we'll discuss it even more and also, you know, discuss potential transfer news that we're all hoping / waiting for. Thanks for watching.